Hi everyone, I'm Midgeman, and I'm back with God of War Ghost of Sparta. This is a long time coming actually. I meant to do this a lot earlier, but I think I'm finally going to get around to it now. And before the game starts, just a few things. This is the second PSP God of War game. It's a hell of a lot better than the other one, and it takes place between 1 and 2. So I'll leave you to the opening scene, and I can talk some more about the gameplay.
Kratos, the ghost of Sparta, had taken his place amongst the Olympians as the god of war. The bloodshed, the relentless battles, had finally brought him here. Ares was dead, and though Olympus beckoned, visions of his mortal existence still haunted him. Kratos, help me. Kratos knew that this was not a mere vision, for with the gods, nothing was ever as it seemed. The vision of his past set Kratos in search of answers. Answers that lay in the temple of Poseidon, deep within the city of Atlantis.
This is not a wise course of action, Kratos. It was a dream, nothing more.
The visions still haunt me, Athena. The visions you promised to take away. But this vision, I can change.
Perhaps it is a vision best left unchanged. There is more to this than you know. Please.
So, as usual, Kratos is just heading in, even though he doesn't really know what's going on, but he's had a vision, and we're on our way to Atlantis. And these first guys are pretty easy mode kind of enemies. I'm playing on normal this time compared to hard, like I did in the Chains of Olympus, because I've had a good couple of goes at this game on hard mode, and there are a couple of parts where I can get stuck for a very long time, and it's just not as fun to play on hard. But we've got our usual moves here, our normal square and triangle moves, and our ever useful plume of Prometheus.
Hurry, Lord Kratos!
There's also one other move which you might have spotted as I was talking. It's the Hyperion charge, where basically you'll rugby tackle an enemy to the ground and you keep punching them in the face then. It's really useful. And we've got a basic block for now as well. We can still get a slowdown like a normal parry without having the actual parry attack, which is nice to have this early on. These guys can actually block quite a bit, so that's when the triangle moves come in a lot more useful. There's just a lot of breakables in here as well for the odd extra red orb. And compared to the Chains of Olympus, this game's a lot less it's a lot more stingy with the red orbs, as it takes a lot longer to level up. So we've got some tentacles in our case now. And we've also got some Scylla broods, which you can just easily circle and kill them, which is what I do most of the time. And that tentacle can be blocked. And with these ones, they're just in your way. So once you've done enough damage, they will just go away. But the second one comes back really quickly, so you want to get through as soon as possible. So once you've taken down these dudes, just attack this tentacle thingy and do as much damage as you can to it. It's really not too difficult, but it can hit you a good couple of times. But you can block all of its attacks anyway. And we got our first QTE of the game. So, we got our first tutorial boss of the game, and it's the easiest boss ever. You can block everything easily enough, and you don't even have to get that close to her to actually hit her. So if you just lay on the triangle moves and whatnot, she'll go down quick enough. And even good enough to give us lots of health as well, in case we really do mess up. Although on hard mode she can do quite a bit of damage to you. And then when you do enough to her, she'll come over here and shoot a bunch of Scylla broods on the floor. Which again, as long as you keep taking them down with circle, you'll be immune to all the attacks as well. And here I cut out a bunch, because we have to repeat this I think a couple of times, so I cut out at least one go because it's all the same thing and you don't need to see it all again. There we go. So we get another finisher offer. And the QTEs in this game are one of my favourite kinds because the actual symbols for the button inputs are on the same side as they are on the pad. And I think it's a lot more useful than just being in the middle of the screen. So I think this game came out after God of War 3. So with Scylla out of the way, we can carry on now with our, as we venture further into Atlantis. And here we've got the new chests, and basically these contain the Gorgon eyes and the Phoenix feathers. It means they're a lot harder to miss. I believe I do miss a couple in the game, but they're easier to tell what's in them basically, which is useful. And we've still got our trident left over from God of War 1, so we can still swim. And again, anything which is destructible will vibrate the pad when you strike it, so it's not always 100% obvious. And we're back to fighting these guys, and it's a bit more low profile than rushing around the sea on the ship. And we can still launch them in the air as well and easily get more hits on them and not take any damage, which is just as useful. Seems how I'm getting hit all over the place. And we're reintroduced to the Minotaur, and this is probably my favourite Minotaur in the game because they've completely rejiggered it. I feel like there's more opportunities to actually block and parry the Minotaur, but we've just been interrupted by Scylla here. So as you can guess, she's gonna be a constant thing following us around Atlantis. And there's another new thing with the Minotaur on here, which I think is just brilliant, which I think I'll show off in just a second, is they've changed how the charge works, and I think it's a lot better. So I'm doing my utmost best not to kill him. So if you can get some distance, you actually have a chance to counter the charge, which I think is really useful. Although I cocked it up there, I'll get it right this time. It means you get a bit more time to actually do some damage to them, which I really like. And it's a lot easier to stab them in the face as well. So, as per usual God of War fashion, there's a secret here, and the wall sidling on this takes bloody forever, so I thought I'd speed it up for you again. But it's not so bad by here because it's only a short distance. And here was the first time I managed to do something I hadn't done before, which was I managed not to kill both of these guys here. Because usually I end up peppering them and killing them, and I always feel a little bit bad for that. So one of them survived, and he'll be here for the entire game now, probably. I feel like this whole tutorial area is a lot better than on the Chains of Olympus as well. Feels a lot more action-packed. Now we've got projectile throwing enemies. You can reflect all of these back at them straight away, which is what I'm trying to do. And it's always worth knowing that when you do reflect them back, it does more damage, I believe. And it's always quite satisfying to get the timing right. It does take a good few reflects to actually kill them, but it's easy just to run up and take them down. Because when you do get close enough, they'll break out a melee weapon. So that's the way we need to go, but for some reason the waterfall's blocking us from jumping in the actual water. And there's another big change as well, which I love, I think it's brilliant, is the more you push the object in one direction, the quicker it goes. So you don't have to constantly kick it, which is just a lot better, I think. So we get these guys on our case trying to stop us. But all we're going to do is just put the stone on the switch and we can take them out when we want now. And before we swing on over, we can take a look in this red chest and we can get some more orbs. Which probably you'll find if you don't manage to make the jump first time anyway, so... And I usually get it first time, so it's better just to jump in and get it. And there's lots of smashy pots around here. And an absolute ton of guys. So the circle move is still one of the most effective ones in the game. Just being able to hit other people with people is just really useful. And they're taken down pretty quickly. And if you have lost a lot of health here, you can replenish that. And we can get back to sliding down walls as well, which it's always fun to watch. And we get even more red chests. And I think we're really close to actually having enough orbs to level up our Blades of Athena. I think the Blades of Athena are this game. Hopefully I'm right.
The Temple of Thanatos, the god of death, a vestige of a long-forgotten time. Erected before the rule of the Olympians, this temple was not placed here by mortal hands. Within its walls lay a passage to the domain of death.
Right, so I'm going to be leaving it here for this video. The Blades of Athena yet, but we are close to leveling up, so I'll see you guys next time.